TG Geeks, episode 307, January 4th, 2021. Happy New Year to you. What? Hello and welcome to another webcast from tggeeks.com, where Ben and Keith, the Two Gay Geeks, talk about all aspects of Geek-dom and Nerdery, sci-fi, comics, film, horror genre, you name it, we talk about it. I'm Keith Lane and we're coming to you from TG Squared Studios in lovely Phoenix, Arizona, where I got confused. I didn't know whether to sing happy anniversary, happy birthday, or what? So that's what we got.
Mm-hmm.
So
right. And I'm Ben Raggington, and I just want to point out that my husband's enthusiasm when he sang the Happy New Year during the opening was so good that he was literally, and I'm not joking, he was dancing in his chair.
In Phoenix. That's not why I was excited. I was dancing in the chair because no, I don't have to do that yet.
Right.
Not doing the dance yet.
And it's
about to drink plenty of water and coffee this morning.
Oh, that dance. My eyeballs are floating dance.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yes. Let's get on with it.
Prepare for hyperdrive.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Episodes, the Two Gay Geeks are discussing this.
Well, you're stuck with us again.
Oh, darn.
Here we are. Our hopes and dreams and predictions for 2021. You know, you never know. We're going to look in that broken crystal ball and we'll see what happens. We'll see how much we get right and whether we get anything right or we get it all wrong. We're still going to have fun doing it. Right. So then we're going to have our birthday shout outs, our podcast of the week. And then you have quite a bit of feedback for this week.
Well, a bit, yeah.
A little bit. And regular shout-outs. Our second segment, we got a couple of things to talk about, a couple of new things that we have watched and are watching, and then weekly recap and our regular shout-outs. Please, check out our regular shout-outs because those people really don't stop listening when we get towards the end.
Don't fast forward.
Yeah. There's some important stuff there. The people get some shout outs and we want to talk about that. So we're going to get right on with us. Well, that's our music. That's it for the show. See you later.
Thank you very much, people.
We'll be here all week. Anyway, so this is kind of our hopes and dreams and, just kind of just the new year.
Well, last week we did a recap, everything that happened in 2020, and now we're kind of looking at, well, what do we hope for in 2021?
Exactly. So, first off, good health, continued good health for all.
Oh, yeah.
And, that everybody stays safe and that just stay sane in the process.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I always say that, it's one thing for staying safe, but you got to stay sane too. Yeah. And continue to wear your masks, even if you get a vaccine, because you never know.
We don't know the full ramifications,
exactly.
or how the vaccine works, how well it protects. So, in the same time, so for now, keep wearing the mask. And I'm going to quote Chris Killian from comicbook.com. Continue to wash your hands, all of that. Because that's what we did when we were in New York, and boy, we dodged a bullet last March.
We certainly did. But, just continue to stay safe, wear your mask, get the vaccine. Who knows when we're going to have enough vaccines. Several of our friends have gotten the vaccine, but several of them they're either working in a hospital or they're frontline workers, or they
were meant to take it.
Exactly. So I don't want to jump in front of anybody that desperately needs that vaccine. But we will probably get it, sooner rather than later.
I hope.
Hopefully. And then we'll go on our merry way. I don't think that anything is going to change.
Not immediately, no.
Too drastically. The one thing that can change, and that one of the things that I really we've kind of discovered, is find more ways to safely connect with people.
Yeah.
We all need that personal connection. I mean, we're stuck here, just you and I, with the cats, and about the only time that we get any connection with anybody is if we go out to the grocery store or shopping or whatever it is that we have to do on a regular basis, and we try not to do that as often as we used to.
And at the same time, we're not really connecting with people because we're busy about doing our own thing.
Right.
Connecting with people is like when you're actually sitting down and enjoying someone's company, and yet, and we've done that a couple of times, but we've also made sure of doing that safely.
Right. Our closest friends, Brendan and Gordon, that we've known for,
forever,
20 some odd years.
About.
We had Thanksgiving with them out on the patio, and we socially distanced. We went to their home for Christmas Day and socially distanced there. And then we met them for coffee the other day, and on New Year's Day, actually.
And socially distanced.
Socially distanced outside, and we sat there, and it was really great to be able to make that contact with other people and have that social interaction face to face rather than over a screen or over a phone or
it's not the
whatever.
Same. It's not the same. I mean, it's having some kind of a visual communication through like a Zoom or a Skype or however you do it. I mean, obviously that's better than nothing,
right?
And we've been able to communicate with your family back in Oklahoma. Your nephew Andy in Texas with his wife and their kid. So I mean that's nice. It's nice to be able to have that kind of opportunity. But if you have the means to actually be able to sit with somebody, as we said, abide by all of the safety rules, maintain 6 feet distance, have a mask on, etc. But still have that moment where you can sit one-on-one and have a conversation. I mean, that is very positive and very beneficial for one's, I would say, not just psychological but emotional, maybe even physical health.
Yeah, and that it's granted the weather in Phoenix allows
us to do
much more of that outside.
Yeah.
But if you can do it outside, even with a mask, or make contact with people.
Yeah.
Please, I know that you listen to us, and maybe we have become like some kind of interaction for you. I would hope,
I'm grateful.
Yeah, but it's just not the same as seeing somebody firsthand. I think we're going to see a lot more of the great pause continue on through this year. Things may start to loosen up a little bit in I would say, at least the third quarter of this year.
Possibly.
It's going to be, I would say, at least October before anything really breaks loose. So stay vigilant, be safe, be sane. I foresee that the convention scene will
it's going to remain virtual.
Probably not come back this year for in any appreciable manner.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to see a lot more of conventions try to go to the virtual route, and it's kind of a nice thing because
I actually think that's a good thing.
It allows more people to be involved in certain things. It's like you don't go to San Diego Comic-Con and try to get into Hall H and stand there for
that was going to be my
27 hours.
That was going to be my very example, because I think now one benefit out of this is
Everybody can do Hall H. You know?
Well, now they're working. Now they're developing a system. Like I just saw recently, there was a Warehouse 13 con of sorts.
Oh, cool.
But you had to buy tickets in order to be able to view it as it happened and to be able to participate in it, as well as, possibly even qualify for some swag. I thought that was a great idea, and who knows, maybe San Diego, they'll do that. We'll do this virtual con one more year. San Diego can kind of figure out a better way to refine their system, and then apply
Phoenix
next
can
year.
Do the same thing.
Phoenix can do it, and then apply that next year. So
exactly,
I think that there are a few good things that have been coming out of this in terms of how we can make use of virtual conventions going forward.
And I think that I hope that some of these venues that or conventions like San Diego and Phoenix and all of the others will try to figure out some way that they can feature some of those independent creators, some of their vendors, some of their people, so that those people can be spotlighted as well. And, whether it's they have their own virtual room that you can go down the list and you say, hey, let's go look at this person's stuff. And maybe they're doing it in their home. They have their table set up at their home and you can interact with the folks there.
That
like
is a really interesting idea.
Because I know
a virtual dealer's room.
We say it every single week. Support those independent creators because the convention scene disappeared.
Yeah.
And a lot of those folks make their extra money or at least get their exposure through conventions. And if they had nothing, then they're sitting there with nothing, So I think that we need to find out a way to do that.
I think that's a great idea.
To
I seriously do.
Those independent creators together. So there's virtual rooms and some way you can do some kind of transaction with them, whether it's, whatever it is that, you commission a piece or you buy something from them and they send it to you and it's all, safe transactions, etc. But we need to do something for those independent creators. And I'm on board for that.
I'm totally on board for that, and I think it's a wonderful idea. I think back to some of the authors, for example.
Oh my gosh!
That the self-published authors and the tables that they've got. Zachary Wheeler for one.
Yeah.
I think it would be really awesome if he had an opportunity to have like his own little virtual table.
Yeah.
By which
interact with people that are coming by.
You could set up a queue.
Yeah.
Through a website by which people can then, one after the other, they can have a chance to actually, chat with him for, maybe a minute. And then maybe he could actually find some way of being able to, make a book sale.
Yeah.
Online and maybe even autograph it for them. I mean, there are all sorts of possibilities I think that can be done with this. I think that's actually a very interesting idea.
Yeah. We've got to figure out how to negotiate the great pause a little bit better than what we did all of last year.
Well,
lots of strides were made, but
and I think
because
nobody was ready.
I don't think we're going to end this anytime soon.
No, and I think what happened, the people were really trying to adapt. I know that there were a lot of conventions that held off as long as they possibly could with that, are we having it, are we not having it? And by the time they finally decided to, okay, we're canceling it, but we're going virtual, they didn't have enough time and expertise to actually put something properly together in terms of some kind of a virtual con, virtual dealer's room. So last year, 2020, in terms of the virtual convention, was a great experiment amidst the great pause. So now that it looks like we may be facing this again, although I hope that they're looking at this very seriously and thinking, vaccines coming out, we're going to be having our conventions again. Please don't bank. I'm hoping anybody who's hearing this, who runs a con, don't bank on that.
Exactly.
Instead, you should really bank on having the virtual con, because I think that's the safer. I think that's a safer bet.
Yep. There's several milestones that we're going to reach this year, or, certain things that we are going to be achieving.
Oh, my goodness.
7 years in podcasting in June.
That's a record for a lot of podcasters. Because most of them don't get past 5.
Exactly. And in that 7 years, we'll probably hit episode 350, I think I calculated, in October sometime.
Wow. And to think we just did 300.
I know.
And already looking at 350. Hoy.
Yeah, and at the end of the year, we're going to have to have close to 3,000 articles published on our website.
Wow.
In 7 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then we're going to celebrate
25 years
25
together.
years together.
Yeah.
So that's quite a feat in itself.
Quarter of a century.
I know. Oh my God. Did you have to say that?
Well, the only reason I did is because when I turned 25, and I'm 59 now, and 25 seems like nothing. But here, I turned 25. I was living with my parents because I was helping to support them. And my stepdad comes out and gives me a birthday present, and he says, "So how does it feel to be a quarter of a century old?" And I wanted to die at that moment. It's like, I'm not that freaking old, please.
Exactly. And now you're half a century old plus.
Oh, God. And now I am that freaking old.
Exactly. But I think that 2021... There are some positive things if we just look forward and we try to adapt a little bit more and just learn to do what we need to do to survive.
Yeah, one positive thing I think, and we mentioned this I think in our last episode. A lot of film studios, both big and independent, small independent productions.
Yes.
They're finding ways to finally, and I'm not saying circumvent, but they're finally finding ways to work within the system and within the health regulations now to be able to get their products out. Like, for example, I just read, there's a big Marvel movie that's going into production this week. Also, one of the Star Trek, I think it's Star Trek Picard. They just announced their production start date.
Yep. And
so they're and of course Russ Emanuel. I mean,
Staycation. We're producers on,
and how they had to. Yes, they had to raise the money to do this, but they were able to find ways to maintain the health of their cast and crew, as well as make their film.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think we might start seeing more of that. Not in a big, huge amount before the pandemic, because it's very costly. And that adds to their overhead, obviously. But I think we will start to see some improvement in terms of what is coming out of the movie industry. And that's something I'm very much looking forward to. It'll be nice to kind of get back a little bit into that rhythm.
Exactly. And I think that's another thing that we need to help people and those independent creators that are struggling with those costs in figuring out a way for them to negotiate that and for them to negotiate at a better cost. Hopefully the cost of the testing will come down. Since they're finally figuring out how to do that appropriately and in a timely manner. Mm-hmm. So, and not necessarily have to pass that along in higher ticket prices if a movie is at a movie theater or, whatnot like that.
Yeah.
Or a higher DVD cost or Blu-ray cost or whatever.
Or a streaming purchase.
Exactly.
Because I obviously, Mulan, you had to buy a special purchase through Disney Plus in order to be able to get that on top of the regular streaming. Who's to say? Although it is interesting that Wonder Woman 1984 did break a lot of box office records.
Yeah, it was interesting.
So it managed to succeed, and I think that might also serve as a future model for what the entertainment industry might do this coming year.
Hopefully.
Who's to say?
Yeah. Well, I am looking forward to 2021 and seeing what it holds for all of us. So stay out there, stay safe, stay sane, and
Good luck.
good luck.
Hi, this is Joe Spector from Arizona Opera, and you're listening to the Two Gay Geeks.
Well, and that's another organization that is doing something different. They're doing
They've adapted.
A lot of virtual stuff, and it has been quite successful for them.
And I'm very pleased that they were able to find a way, because one opera that we were very much looking forward to was seeing The Copper Queen.
Yep.
And they've adapted to the situation and are making a movie instead.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
wow, I think that's awesome that they could find a way to work through the current situation.
Exactly. And here's a few selected birthdays for January 4th, 2021 through January 10th, 2021. January 4th, Isaac Newton, English physicist, astronomer, mathematician, widely regarded as one of the most influential scientists of all time. Key figure in the scientific revolution, and his laws of motion, his laws of motion and universal gravitation were the dominant scientific viewpoint
For a long time.
nearly 200 years.
Yeah. It
Until that upstart Einstein came along.
and completely obliterated some of Newton's ideas.
Exactly. But his laws, it is still a basic understanding and
Well, the laws,
Exactly.
the laws of thermodynamics, they're still quite applicable. So, in many ways, I mean, Newton, you could say he was the father of still today modern physics.
Yep. And his he died in 1727. Then we have Sterling Holloway, actor, voice actor,
Winnie the Pooh.
working character actor, going
True.
back to 1926.
Good heavens, that's before we were really heavy into
Yeah.
speakies.
And lots of Disney voices.
Yeah.
Dumbo, Aristocats. He was the stork in Dumbo.
Oh, that's right, he was.
Aristocats. He was I can't remember now. Alice in Wonderland. He was,
he
the
white
caterpillar.
Oh, he was the caterpillar?
Yep.
Oh,
I believe.
I thought he was the white. No, not the. Was it white? I thought the white rabbit.
Maybe. Bambi. Jungle Book. He was Kaa in
That's
Jungle Book.
right, he was. Kaa.
And of course, Winnie the Pooh became a Disney legend in 1991, the year before he died. So that is quite a career. I mean, as well as all of the other things in between. But Winnie the Pooh is the one that really...
That's the one that I know the best.
He did that one. He did 4, 5, 6 movies and shorts with Winnie the Pooh as the voice of Winnie the Pooh.
He so created that voice and character that...
Oh, bother.
Yeah, that anytime there's a new Pooh film that is being made, they got to find someone who can, mimic what he did, because he made that voice so identifiable with this living teddy bear.
Yep, exactly. And then we have friend of ours, Julia Camera. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
January 5th. Hayao Miyazaki. I hope I didn't butcher that too much. He was director, co-founder of Studio Ghibli, My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away. And he is of the opinion that young artists not try to imitate another's style, but create their own and move the art form forward.
Oh, I think he's right.
That could be because his art was likened to Tezuka, and so he was actually rather upset that somebody said that his artwork was just like Tezuka's.
He didn't want to be compared to anybody.
Exactly. So he created his own style.
Well, good for him.
Yep.
And I think he's right.
Yep. And then Jane Wyman, actress, starting her career in 1932.
Good heavens.
Many roles and many films. A lot that she was uncredited for. She was in the chorus. She was in blah, this and that and the other. And did quite a few films. And then finally moved to TV with her leading role as Angela Channing in Falcon Crest
Oh.
for 9 years.
Well, I didn't know that.
yeah.
I never watched Falcon Crest. It wasn't my soap, so
Yep. And it was it Lorenzo Lamas that was in Falcon Crest?
I believe he was, yes.
And she knew Fernando, his father.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, they're great friends. The whole reading through her biography and the number of people that she knew and were surrounded by, and that were in Falcon Crest was truly amazing. It was kind of like a family reunion type thing. She was married to Ronald Reagan at one point.
That I knew before, but then they divorced, and he married Nancy.
Won an Oscar and was considered for Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind.
Wow.
Yeah. She was a switchboard operator before show business. She died in 2007 at the age of 90.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing. Then we have friend of ours, Canberra Potter, and former co-worker of mine and friend, Lisa Penner. Happy birthday. January 6th, Rowan Atkinson, actor, Mr. Bean.
Madman.
Johnny English, Blackadder. He actually hated the 1982 incarnation of Blackadder.
I'm trying to remember which one that was. Was that the World War II version?
I don't recall.
Because there was one version of Blackadder that I really hated. It was set in World War One.
Yeah, nearly
I didn't
got
care
canceled.
Yeah, I hated it. But the Victorian stuff.
Yeah.
That Blackadder is hilarious.
Craziness. He's a big car fan. Even has a number of Aston Martins that he actually races. He's a race car driver. And I remember, I think it was him that told this story on Graham Norton about someone, he would gone to have his car serviced or something.
It is
and
him, I believe.
Somebody
yeah.
said, "You look just like Mr. Bean."
Yeah,
and
he did say that.
And he said, "Well, I am." And the guy refused to believe him.
Yeah, I didn't believe it at all.
It was so funny,
yeah.
the way he told that story. Then we have Eddie Redmayne, actor, Les Mis. He was Newt Scamander in the Fantastic Beasts series of Harry Potter stories, and Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything.
He's quite good in that one.
Yes. He attended Eton College, where he had classes with Prince William.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. He's a very talented singer.
Yeah.
Because I was very impressed with him in Les Mis. I think he won an Oscar for that.
I can't remember. He won.
I know he won an Academy Award. At
for
one point.
I think it was for his Theory of Everything.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah, as Stephen Hawking. And then we have Syd Barrett.
Oh my goodness, Pink Floyd.
One of the original members.
He was the original songwriter, singer, and guitarist for Pink Floyd. Was there for the they did a couple of singles, and they did Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and then he slowly went mad, and then he got to be replaced by David Gilmour.
Yep. And then we have author friend of ours, Terry L. Smith. January 7th, Robert Sheehan, actor. Misfits, Song of Sway Lake, Umbrella Academy. Oh my gosh, he's done quite a few things, but those are the real highlights. So
he's a very talented actor.
Yeah,
really, really good.
Yep. And then we have Francis Poulenc, composer, wrote songs, piano works, choral pieces, ballets, chamber music, and operas. I mean, he wrote everything. Dialogues of the Carmelites is his most famous opera, and I was reading something, and he was talking about his music included the emotive minor ninths.
Wow,
minor sevenths. Minor
sevenths.
I was thinking of the Ninth Symphony for whatever reason. I don't know. I just lost my mind there for a moment. Minor sevenths.
Okay.
And I thought, well, that's interesting.
A minor seventh.
Yeah.
I gotta think about that one.
Yeah, interesting. Minor seventh chords. Bizarre. And then we have Millie Mahoney Delaquila. Happy birthday, Mildred. And then Hamish Downey. Happy birthday, Hamish. He's one of our contributors who does so many things for us. Thank you so much, Hamish. I hope you have a happy birthday.
Absolutely.
January 8th. Speaking of Stephen Hawking,
no kidding.
Actor, physicist, was been an actor in a number of things.
He has appeared.
Yeah.
Well, he did appear in one episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation because he was a huge fan.
The Simpsons.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And let's see. What else?
I know he provided some dialogue for the second to the last Pink Floyd album, The Division Bell. The song was Keep Talking, and he wrote this little bit about the importance of language, and that's what separates humans from the rest of the animal kingdom.
Yep. He lived for 50 years after his diagnosis for ALS. He was only supposed to live for 2.
I think that mind of his was just so remarkably powerful that it refused to let his body die.
Exactly. Brilliant cosmologist, theoretical physicist, transformed our understanding of the cosmos. Mentioned in a Yes song, as well as a Weird Al song.
Okay, which Yes song?
I didn't write it down. I can't remember.
I did not know that he was.
Yeah.
I can't think of it, and I'm ashamed to admit it because I'm such a Yes fan. I don't remember him being mentioned in a Yes song.
His voice was used in a Pink Floyd song, and he was born on the 300th anniversary of Galileo's death.
I think I remember that, yeah.
Yep. Then we have David Bowie, actor, singer, prolific singer, songwriter,
artist,
reinventor of his persona on every single album.
The man was remarkably brilliant.
Yep.
I mean, there are no words to describe Bowie except genius.
Yep. He turned down a CBE, Commander of the British Empire, in 2000 and a knighthood in 2003.
Really?
Yes.
I wonder why.
I don't know. He died 2 days after his 69th birthday. What a shock. I remember that.
Oh,
it was like,
that was horrible. That was a bad year.
Oh, my God.
That was a really
It was
bad
just
year.
horrible. It started off wrong.
Yeah, I remember that very well. It was highly unpleasant. People just dying, one after the other. January was one of the worst months ever. Everybody was saying, "Can we just do a redo?"
Yeah.
But yeah, Bowie,
and then we got 2020.
And then we got 2020. But Bowie was amazing. I remember when my sister was visiting here last August and September. She played some videos that Bowie did from the very last album that he released, and it just shows that creativity, that spark that made him so different from everybody else, never faded.
Yep.
I mean, the man was the best.
And we saw a tribute to him in Seattle. What was that? It was guitar history of the guitar museum, or what?
Yeah,
what was that?
It used to be a pop culture museum,
right?
And there was a music section, and we went in and saw the David Bowie bit.
Yeah.
And it was remarkable, especially...
It left us both in tears.
Yeah, it did, because it really focused a lot around the Ziggy Stardust days.
Yep. Then we have Graham Chapman, actor, Monty Python. He was born during an air raid in 1941.
Oh, my.
Yes. He was an MD. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yes, he had studied medicine and practiced medicine for several years before he gave it all up and moved on to Monty Python.
Wow.
Was in a relationship with a man for 24 years, and they raised a son together.
I didn't know about the son, but I knew that he was in a long-term relationship, yes.
Yep. Terry Brooks, author, epic fantasy, 23 bestsellers, and sold over 25 million copies of his books. Lots of Shanaras.
Yeah, that I don't know if he intended that to take on a life of its own, but it did.
It did. It certainly did. And then we have William Hartnell, actor, the first Doctor, 137 episodes.
Yeah.
His last performance was supposed to be a cameo in The Abominable Dr. Phibes, but it was cut out entirely.
Health? Or just cut out?
Just cut out of the
I didn't even know he had a
movie.
cameo for that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Wow.
Until I saw that, and it was fascinating. And let's see, January 9th, Imelda Staunton, actress, Dolores Umbridge.
Oh, God, yeah.
She was in a Doctor Who episode, The Girl Who Waited. She was the voice of the interface.
Oh, really?
Yes, and she was Mrs. Santa in Arthur Christmas.
Arthur Christmas, yeah.
Yep. Rudolph Bing, Austrian-born opera impresario, most notable as the general manager of the Met from 1950 to 1972, and notorious for his stormy relationship with Maria Callas and his biting criticism of other stars, putting them in their place.
Yeah, Maria Callas was not the only one.
Oh, no. And it's really sad. He suffered from Alzheimer's in his last, 10 years of life. He died at the age of 95 in 1997. But he was taken advantage of. And
that's terrible.
Had almost nothing left at the end of his life. And Teresa Stratas and Roberta Peters found him a home to live in.
Oh, good for them.
So, for all the things, the many wonderful years that he gave them at the Met.
That's nice to know.
Really sad. Although he was quite the force of nature at the Met.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, he was.
And then also on January 9th, we have Jessica Ingham, Rosemary Enlow, and Everett Ingram. January 10th, Jermaine Clement, actor, singer, known for Flight of the Conchords. He was Tamatoa in Moana. Shiny.
Yes. Love that.
Was in a comedy troupe with Taiki Waititi.
I'm not surprised.
Yes, is of Maori descent. And I think it was his grandmother was full-blood Maori.
Far out.
So, and
I love them Kiwis so much. They're just awesome people.
Yep. Pat Benatar, singer, musician. She was an opera singer before she turned to rock and roll.
Oh, yeah, and I think her voice kind of proves that.
Yep. And then we have Roy E. Disney, son of Roy O. Disney, nephew of Walt. Strange thing is, he looked more like Walt in his later years than Roy did. He looked like Roy.
It was quite scary.
Started working at the Walt Disney Company after college at the age of 24 as an assistant film editor. Moved up to head of animation, board member for many years. Died in 2009. And an odd thing about the day that he died, died in December of 2009, December 16th, as a matter of fact. Walt died, December...
I can't remember the date.
7th or something like that, just after his birthday or before his birthday. Lillian died around the same date. Roy died around the same date. And his mother died around the same date.
Oh, that's...
all within about 6 days.
Creepy.
All of the Disneys died there in December. It's really bizarre. I was reading that, and it's like, oh, okay, this is too weird. So I have to say something. And then we have Facebook friend Tam Hampton. Happy birthday. And that's it for the birthdays this time.
Hey everybody, did you know that the first season of Pop and Fizz is now up for you to listen to on your favorite podcast channel? Hamish?
No, I didn't.
And did you know that Pop and Fizz is hosted by Beck, that's me, and by Hamish, that's you, right?
That's me. Oh.
What is Pop and Fizz? Could you tell us?
Well, it's a movie podcast. I mean, you've never heard of one of those.
Oh, there's none.
No,
it's
no.
The first one.
But now this is a movie podcast about movies that we just can't forget. Cult, strange, the weird movies that we wish we
and some movies that we don't think actually exist, but do.
That's right. And radio plays that you and I have written. All right, so season 1 is available right now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and Google.
Go give a listen to our friends Beck and Hamish at Pop and Fizz Podcast.
I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I believe that reaching out for help is the bravest thing a person can do. If you are struggling and need support, call the Trevor Lifeline at 1-866-488-7386. It's free and confidential, and trained counsellors are there to listen 24/7 without judgment. To learn more about the Trevor Project's life-saving work for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or questioning young people, go to thetrevorproject.org.
And it's time for our feedback, and these comments are in response to articles and episodes that we ran at tggeeks.com, starting with regarding Russ Emanuel launches Indiegogo campaign for new film Staycation, which you heard us talk a little bit about earlier in the first segment. Got a comment from both Staycation and the New Mexico Extras Casting Network, and they both say, thank you, TG Squared Studios.
Yay!
And then moving on, regarding TG Geeks episode number 303, we had some birthday announcements for that. And we got, it was Jason T. Gaffney's birthday. And he says, thanks, Keith Lane. Thanks, Ben Raggington. And he gives us each little 3 hearts.
Heart.
Yeah, got a comment from Des Demise. Thank you. Heart. Comment from Russ Emanuel. Thank you. My good friend, Darren Anderson in Britain, he kind of gave a smiley face that's got, party favors and whatnot. And then got a comment from Angela Joseph. Thank you, TG Squared Studios. And then regarding This God Made, Season 2, Episode B, Red Fox. Got a comment from Hamish Downey. You just heard him in the bumper. He said, this is such a great series. And I'm assuming he's talking about This God Made.
Yes.
And I would agree.
We love This Got Made.
Oh, I look forward to every new episode. And then regarding Ben's breakdown, Jingle All the Way may not have you laughing all the way. Got a comment from Jeff Baker. OMG, I saw this decades ago. And then he adds parenthetically, and I met Sinbad a few times when he lived here in Wichita. He was just starting up performing in local venues. And then regarding Andrea's angle, Wild Mountain Time is both perfectly Irish and perfectly charming. Got a comment from Hamish Downey, and he says, Beck, who was the host of Fizz and Pop, she says, Beck enjoys Irish movies. And then we close it off regarding Ben's holiday breakdown, An American Christmas Carol. Got a comment from Dottie Crone. She says, thank you for this review, Ben. I loved this version mainly because of Winkler's performance and the fact that it was based in a New England town.
Yeah, because she lives in a New England town.
Of course she does.
You can leave comments on our Facebook page or on Twitter or on Instagram, also on tggeeks.com. How about that? It's amazing. We do have a website. You can go there, read our articles.
There's a number of feedback that's coming on that one, which we'll get to in later episodes.
Lots of feedback. And we're getting more feedback. If you also want to leave us a voicemail feedback, you can do that. We have a listener line. You can call 469-TG Geeks. That is 469-844-3357. And as always, please play nice. As everybody knows, we are huge supporters of independent creators, whether it's filmmakers, comic book artists, writers, or others. Please consider supporting them. Buy their stuff, talk to them, go to their Etsy pages, go to their Facebook pages, their websites, their Instagram, their Twitter, their wherever you find them. Please go there, chat them up, chat to other people about them, and buy their stuff. Please consider supporting independent creators. The Joshua Tree Feeding Program is very near and dear to our heart. It's a 501c3 nonprofit food pantry for the HIV/AIDS community in Maricopa and Pinal counties. They offer a place where clients can go there and they can pick up food and a wide assortment of nutritional foods as well as supplements and some other things. They set it up as a store so the clients can pick and choose what they want and no food is wasted. We support them on a monthly basis, and we would encourage you to support them. They're a wonderful group of people that do some really good in the community. Please support Joshua Tree Feeding Program by going to jtfp.org. If you are trans or are questioning your gender identity, and if you are in crisis or are feeling isolated and need someone to talk to, or you know of someone in a similar situation, there is a special hotline just for you. The hotline is provided by translifeline.org and staffed by trained counselors who are transgender themselves. The hotline in the U.S. is 877-565-8860. In Canada, it is 877-330-6366. Or you can go to translifeline.org to learn about the important work they are doing. please reach out for help. You are not alone.
Yeah, baby. They're like two gay geeks. They're together, you know. They're two gay guys and they're geeks. Is that okay?
Well, we got time to talk about a few things that we've been watching and have watched.
Yes.
I want to start off with this really was a big surprise for me, and this is on Amazon Prime. It's actually from IMDb TV, and it's Alex Rider.
Yes, it was you had said something to me about it, and I didn't know anything about it.
Well, I saw a trailer.
Yeah.
I simply saw a trailer for it, and it completely caught me by surprise because it was nothing what I expected. I thought initially that this was supposed to be a young adult teen spy thing, and I remember saying that I think this is what Artemis Fowl was supposed to be, at least in terms of tone and seriousness in approaching the subject instead of being utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, well, this one succeeded.
It exceeded in so many ways. In fact, there's nothing young adult about the series we saw.
No.
9 episodes, I believe it was.
Yep.
And wow, talk about intense.
It really was. And Otto Ferrant.
Oh my goodness gracious me!
What a
He's
good-looking
amazing.
young man.
He's quite a
And
good-looking
great
young man.
actor too.
He is very good. And this once again shows that in the people in England, when they're creating a series, they're able to tell so much story in such a condensed way that you may be watching an episode that's like only 45 minutes long, and it'll feel like an hour and a half.
Yeah. Now, we did get a little bit of idiot plot occasionally.
Yeah, there was some of that.
They had to, a lot of license was taken with the story to begin with. But it was a very good series, a very action-adventure-y.
Yeah, not enough to ruin it.
Yeah.
And it ended in a really interesting situation, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go. Things we predicted, we kind of
10
saw.
books or so.
Yeah, you're reading the first one now?
Yeah, I got the first couple of chapters, so I haven't had time to get back to it. But I picked it up just to see how the book compared to the series.
Which is kind of rough because the first book is more in the first episode.
Well, yeah, actually, that's true.
Because the rest of the series is more about book 2.
Exactly.
Which is interesting, but oh well, be that as it may. It's a very good series, and there's IMDb's already showing an episode, for season 2 at some point. But who knows when that will actually happen.
Could be kind of fun.
I look forward to it. I hope they bring back this entire cast. I loved it, and I desperately want to see more.
Yep.
Now we have The Stand.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Now, I've got a review coming out later this week.
Yeah, we've only watched 3 episodes.
Because that's all that's out.
Yeah. Oh, is it really? I thought
it's a weekly series.
Oh, I thought they released the whole thing.
No, they didn't. No, CBS All Access does not release.
No, don't tell me they're doing that to us.
Yeah, we get it weekly.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, we don't get to mainline this, baby.
Dang it.
That's why we haven't been watching anymore.
I wondered why we hadn't watched anymore.
And that's why I was okay with
I'm not in charge of the watching here.
And that's why I was okay with running, because my review will come out on Wednesday. And that's why I was okay with running on a Wednesday, because that's before the next episode comes out, which is Friday.
I see. Oh, it makes more sense now.
So we're current on the show.
I thought, well, why didn't you release it like last week?
No, can't. But yeah, my review comes out on Wednesday. But what are some? Now, you never saw the original, did you?
No. I did
okay,
not.
So you're
and
really
I'm not familiar with the book either.
Okay, so you're very much going into this blind. Now, in my review, I do make some references to at least the previous series, so you can look at that. But what are your thoughts? I mean, being that you're quite a newbie in terms of this story.
I thought it's a very compelling story. It's very interesting. I can see some things, and I've kind of seen a few things of where I think it's going, but of course I'm going to be wrong. I know that.
Well, it's
always am.
It's a Stephen King story.
Exactly. So. It can twist any moment.
Right.
So I thought It's very well filmed. The cinematography is great.
Yes, it is.
The characters, the actors that they've got are fascinating. I mean, they're really. Whoopi Goldberg is the old woman,
Mother Abigail.
She's brilliant as that. I mean, it's great, and all of the other characters in the series and the actors playing the characters, I think they kind of fit with their character. I looked up several on IMDb, and the one that plays Harold is
Harold Lauder. Yeah,
quite a nice looking young man, but they have made him up to be.
He looks pretty creepy,
really creepy, weird, geeky, nerdy.
The dark underbelly of geek,
miscreant, shall we say?
Ooh, nice choice.
and that's what I perceive that is going on with him, and I kind of saw that coming from the beginning, and then in this last episode we got kind of a little foreshadowing of that, at least what I think, and I not knowing anything about it, I would tend to think that he's probably going to fulfill his destiny. But we'll see.
We will definitely see. I agree with you on that. So now, and this one is an embarrassment because I got an email from HBO Max talking about things that are running on their channel, and I saw that The West Wing was there, and I never watched it when it was originally on.
I don't know how.
How did we miss this?
How did we miss this? Oh my God.
Yeah, we started mainlining it yesterday, and we got like 5 episodes in already.
Yeah.
We finally stopped after, close to midnight.
It went off the air 15 years ago.
It is so good.
I'm telling you.
This
my God.
series is so freaking good.
Yeah.
Because it gives you a really good look at the inner workings of the White House. And it's not just the president, but there is this whole staff and their media department or team, whatever you call it.
Yeah,
it's a machine, and we get to see that. But we not just see the machine, but we get to see the people, the who make up the parts of the machine, and it humanizes the workings of the government in such a way that I find it very endearing.
Yeah,
and quite surprising, in fact.
Interestingly enough, too, is that Martin Sheen was only supposed to be in a couple of episodes every season, and they decided after the pilot to make him a regular character. And
I'm glad they did.
His things that he has to say for as the president, shall we say, are very insightful, uplifting, what we need to see today.
Yeah, and it also allows him to voice moral dilemmas.
Yes, exactly.
As well, and there were some very good moral dilemmas that were brought up. And what I like is that even though this is very episodic, there's an arc. There's no question about it, because they continually make references to past episodes, and I'm glad they do, because that gives the series an increased amount of credibility and believability.
And the interesting thing also is, and I just looked it up, and I thought that I was correct. Josiah Bartlett is his name,
right?
And
Josiah Bartlett was one of the members of the Continental Congress.
Yes, he was he was the cobbler from New Hampshire,
right?
That was a signatory of the Declaration of Independence. So I thought that was interesting that they chose to name that character after that luminary, shall we say. Mm-hmm. So it is a great series.
I can't wait to go further into it. I'm really looking forward to we're going to be mainlining some more today, after we finish recording.
Yep, exactly. And I'm looking forward to it.
I'm too.
It's something that we need to see right now, positive about our government.
Yeah, and I think
whether it's fiction or not.
I seem to remember reading somewhere that a lot of people were starting to mainline The West Wing. Either they were buying it, through iTunes or whatever. But The West Wing started to get a new popularity, because there was just too much negativity, especially in 2020.
Yep.
So I can't wait to see more.
Exactly.
And it's time for our weekly review. These are items that we ran on our website this past week at tggeeks.com, and the links for each of these items will be in the show notes for this episode, number 307 at tggeeks.com, starting with Sunday, December 27th, Nerdy Chupacabra, number 28, as well as Ben's Breakdown. Is Wonder Woman 1984 a wonderful sequel? On Monday the 28th, TG Geeks episode number 306. On Tuesday the 29th, Ben's Holiday Breakdown. The Perfect Wedding is the perfect holiday love story. On Wednesday the 30th, Andrea's Holiday Angle. I insist that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. On December 31st, New Year's Eve, Jeannie's Christmas Classics, Die Hard and Die Hard 2. On New Year's Day, January 1st, Hamish Downey's 5 Questions with Yannick Spitzbol. And then on Saturday the 2nd, Rudolph versus the Bigots and Bullies of Christmastown. That was Keith's, and that's a very interesting read. And that's what we ran on our website at tggeeks.com.
You bet.
Have a couple of shout-outs that we need to make. First, to the Arkle Times Post-Dispatch News is put up by the human Arkle, Brian Weber. You can find the Post-Dispatch News by finding him on Twitter. Search for Arkle at ARKLE, and while you're doing that, look for him on YouTube. Arkle Studios, youtube.com/Arkle Studios. He has a number of projects there. His Shameless Cash Grab series, his Rants vs. Zombies series, as well as his game videos of Trick and Treat and Star Trek Online.
And I want to give a special thank you shout out to Arkle for sending me a message, because I don't always look at every place that our podcast
where did he send a message?
Is at, and he sent it on Twitter, but he alerted me to a problem that we were having on iTunes. That has been fixed. The episodes are now uploading properly. They may or may not have the correct titles. We'll see. That got kind of fouled up, but there was software always changes, and there was some slip up with a piece of software that I didn't keep up with. So thank you, Arkle, for reminding me and telling me of that. Okay. You saved us all.
Thank you, Arkle, because I thought he only listened to us on YouTube. Well, good. I'm glad he did that.
Yep.
We must also give some shout-outs to a couple of Facebook groups for allowing us to post our episodes and relevant articles on their pages. First to the Gay Geeks After Hours. Big thanks to the moderators for literally saying we could share away our content. Their URL is facebook.com/groups/Gay Geeks After Hours. That's all one word. And then to the Gay Geek for also allowing us to share our stuff there. And their URL is facebook.com/groups/The Gay Geek. And as always, we must give special thanks to their moderator, Jeremiah Reeves.
Thanks, Jeremiah. And we're updated now. You can find us on Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, as well as where other fine podcasts can be found. Also, check us out on Krypton Radio at 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on Tuesdays, and listen to their other content. They are a geeky 24-hour internet radio station. Please rate us and review us on iTunes, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that should do it for this episode of TG Geeks Webcast. Be sure to check out our article on this for this webcast episode. We're going to have several links of things that we talked about. And remember, you can comment on our Facebook page or our website, tggeeks.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357. From TG Squared Studios, I'm Keith Lane. Thanks for listening. Please be kind to yourself and those around you. Stay home, stay safe, and stay sane. Peace.
Cheers.